your way.
Well, hello, everyone. It's Mark Nelson here. I'm not in the First Live Local Weather Center, but I am in episode number 82, and that is what you are listening or watching. This is our special Christmas episode, and today it's just me and Camila Ortiz. How are you doing?
Hello. Good. Yeah, we've got a small crew today. Small but mighty. Hopefully we'll be able to keep this thing rolling.
That's right. And this is our big special Christmas episode.
Yeah.
It's not really special, but I remember growing up always the TV shows, and maybe they still do it, like, ooh, the Christmas episode. How exciting.
Yes. Well, and if you're watching, we've at least got the Christmas colors here. So it's festive.
That's right. So remember, if you get this on your phone, your podcast feed, you know, like I use the Apple podcast just by chance because I have an Apple phone. It just drops in. I don't see the video version, but if you want to see the video version, which we recommend most times because we show you a lot of information, you can find it at kptv.com. You go to the weather page, and then you just go to weather podcasts, and it's right there. It's the second link. You can either listen or watch there.
Yeah.
And I think it's on YouTube somewhere too. I have no idea where, but KPTV has a YouTube page, so maybe it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just produce the content. I don't know exactly where it goes. It just goes out to the world. We broadcast everywhere, and it just happens.
We pass it off to the digital team, and then it's out of our hands.
Okay, so things are starting, maybe at your workplace too, folks, things start getting a little weird this time of the year because people start disappearing, you know, like, hey, I take the week before Christmas off. A lot of people take the week of Christmas. So suddenly, like in our world, the TV world, the anchors start changing. Somebody disappears and somebody new appears. And it'll be the same with the Weather Center. We're all working very weird schedules. So, okay, so we're recording this midday on Thursday, the 21st, which is also the solstice.
Happy winter solstice, everybody, to all who celebrate.
You know what? We're going to pull in that solstice graphic because we have a long form explainer time on this one. So
buckle up.
That one in. Buckle
Mark,
up.
I tried to explain that during the 10 a.m. show. I think it went okay, but I definitely shared the disclaimer of I'm normally like drinking my coffee at home at this time, so we'll see if my brain can handle this. So
nice cover, good cover. Even if you were wide awake, at least that covers it well. I've got some thoughts on that because I want to change that graphic. So when we get to it, we'll talk about that. All right. Great. So if you're watching right now, we have our outline of what we're going to cover here. We're going to just fly through it since there's only two of us. December so far. Snowpack in the Cascades. How bad is it? And I just now realized I forgot to put some pics in, but that's okay. What's ahead for the rest of 2023? Because we can see the general pattern now through the end of the year. Winter solstice, what it means, what it doesn't mean. And why is that sunset already getting later, even though it's just now the shortest day of the year? Believe it or not, I get questions about that. I got a few pictures from Christmas past as well. So how do I do this? Right button. Come on. Oh, I'm in the wrong software. Hang on. Here we go. There we go. Well, Camila, what do you think? We're looking at December 2023.
Wow. So much red. That's like so many mild, warm, above average days. That's crazy.
This whole month, if you just take the high temps, we've only had one below average a night. Saturday the night of 44. But every other day above average, we've had 4 days more than 10 degrees above average. And we're still hanging on to the warmest December so far, 5.6 degrees above average. We'll see. You know, we've got some inversion-y stuff. Cooler air mass from the east, maybe for a few days around Christmas. Not maybe, it will be. So we'll see if that drags the average high down. That said, when we say it's the warmest so far, we're taking the 1st through the 20th of every year. So in most years, it gets cooler in the last week and a half of the month because, you know, on average, it's our coolest time of the year. So we'll see. We'll see if we stay on top as the ship continues to slowly go down. Yeah.
Well, and I was going to say, even though we're like cooling down to average for, you know, I was seeing kind of average temperatures over the course of the 7-day forecast. I mean, there's a good chance we hold on to this then, right? For warmest December on record. Yeah.
Usually when we get within a week, I'll check and, you know, you plug in the 7-day forecast numbers. It's too much work to make up 3 or 4 more numbers, but I'll plug them in and see what it looks like. So that's our temps. Rain, we know it rained a whole bunch. That was well advertised and well discussed that first 10 days of the month. But we've only had, what do we have, a half inch out of that system on Tuesday morning. Otherwise, it's been dry most of the time the last 10 days.
Yeah, a lot of dry days. Oh, boy, there's people walking into the studio.
Is it like a tour?
I don't know.
Because if there's a tour, what I always do is start typing on the computer and act busy.
Just look busy, blinders.
Because, you know, we're very busy. We may not have time to talk for long. Okay, so is it people you recognize? You can talk quiet.
Yeah, I think it's coworkers. So I'm sure once they see the microphone, they'll know.
Yeah, they know. People, our coworkers know what the deal is. Sometimes you just kind of wave people away and no feelings are hurt. So 7.44 inches of rain for the month. So obviously we're still almost 2 inches above normal. We're going to add a bit tomorrow. We've got a cold front coming, and a pretty sharp cold front coming through tomorrow, Friday. And that'll bring some snow to the mountains and it'll bring some rain to the valleys. Not a ton, maybe a quarter inch or so, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's where we are on the rain. And if we just take the wettest first 3 weeks of December, this is through the 21st, we are not in the top 5.
Yeah.
2015, that was crazy. Mudslides, flooding, almost 14 inches in the first 3 months of the year.
Wild. When we were isolating just the very first week of December, we were in the top, right? Yeah.
We were, right.
Yeah.
But then
it just really dried out.
I think the deal with 2015, it just continued off and on the whole month, or most of the month. It just stayed wet. So whereas we just suddenly dried out, like you said. So typical December, we get about 5 3/4 inches of rain. And I don't have a label for this graphic, but at the end of December, what are the top 10 wettest Decembers? And what do you know? 2015 sticks out once again.
Yep. And that 15, one, was that an El Nino year? I feel like I have that.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
15, 16. I think it was 14, 15, and 15, 16 were El Nino years, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm trying to look at my sticky note over there. Yep, 14. I have strong Nino written on there.
How many sticky notes do you have across the bottom of that monitor?
Oh my gosh,
now?
6. 6, I think.
6. So Andy has to look at that every day.
Yeah. He has to look at the millibar heights and temperatures. Yep.
Freezing levels, is that one of them? Freezing levels? No?
Yeah.
What's on some of the others?
I've got pressure gradients from like Eugene PDX to the Dallas.
Beautiful.
Yep. I know. Wow. And then I've got, what else do I have? Just like heights, millibar heights and what they typically correspond to.
And that's then good stuff.
Yeah. And then like the guide for the timing, like 0Z equals what, 12Z equals what. So,
model arrival time or for highs and lows. Yeah, that's smart.
Right.
You can't have too many Post-it notes. Actually, you could. I guess it would depend on your coworkers. I wonder if that drives Katie nuts.
I'm just mirroring how many tabs I typically have open on my browser, which drives you
folks,
crazy.
I feel like we're just doing a work day here because this is how we would talk normally. Folks, I will look over at Camilla's computer and she has 20 or more tabs open. Maybe some of you do this. I can't handle more than about 3 or 4 tabs max. There are so many tabs across the top. That poor computer.
But I know where to find everything. I know exactly where stuff is. It works for me.
Well, okay. So moving on. So it's been wetter than normal, which you would think would be great snowfall. No, because it's been the warmest December on record so far. So, of course, snowpack is terrible in the Cascades. I'm going to try something. Let's see if I can talk. What I want to do here, what we're looking at, by the way, is the current snow water equivalent. That's if you took the snow that's on the ground, melt it down, how many inches of rain would suddenly be into the soil or running off. And we're at 22% of normal around Mount Hood. Most of Northwest Oregon, all of Northwest Oregon is 50% or less of normal. Now, it's early in the season. I always hesitate until about January 1st to say, like, okay, it's early. 2 big snowstorms can bring us up to 100%. But we're slipping further and further behind here. But the whole state is below normal, except right out in far southeast Oregon, like Harney County and Owyhee County. Harney County and Owyhee, the river basin, Owyhee River Basin in southeast Oregon. So a little better over there. But, not much snow. I've got some pictures. Do I dare share these pictures? I have.
Do I dare?
That was weird. Let me see.
Are they scandalous?
No, I just have pictures from the ski areas. Can I open several? Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try opening a bunch here. So open.
Oh boy, risky.
So I'm doing this behind the scenes. Okay, because it's always risky. What I'm going to do, I'm going to stop sharing that one. So you should be back to just seeing our faces while my computer attempts to do 14 other things, which aren't really happening. Oh dear Lord. Uh-oh. Hopefully we're still broadcasting here, folks.
I was going to say, if the recording abruptly cuts off, it's because of Mark shenanigans. No? Not working?
No. Okay, now I really killed it. Well, let me just paint a picture for you.
Yeah. Do
what
that.
you would have seen, what you would have seen is at the top of Ski Bowl and at the bottom of Ski Bowl, there's pretty much no snow on the ground, a patch or two.
Yeah.
At Mount Hood Meadows, they've got 16 inches base. I mean, they work so hard to push the snow from higher on the mountain. They bring it down and patch the bare spots, but it's really limited there. Timberline is only running when the weather's good. Weather has to be good way up high on the mountain. Magic Mile, not even the Magic Mile, the Palmer chairlift, which is a summer chairlift. That and the baby lift. That's all Timberline has open. Ski Bowl's not open. Hoodoo is not open. I checked the Willamette Pass pictures at 5,000 feet. A patch or two of snow. It's really sad.
It's really sad. Yeah, we were looking at the Timberline Lodge live picture, and I mean, there's just nothing in the parking lot. I mean, it's not good.
Yeah, so as of this morning, there's 20 inches of snow on the ground. I'm sure that's like a brick right now. Well, actually, not a brick. It's probably kind of soft because it's been above freezing for days. But at the bottom of the Poochie lift at Timberline, 20 inches of snow are on the ground. Last year, 66 inches. The year before, 57 inches, 54 inches. Great skiing, 20, 21, 22. But if you look back to 2019, let me make sure. Yeah, 2019, that was a pretty rough start, 22 inches. And then 2014 was terrible. That was an El Nino year, 13 inches on the ground.
Yeah.
At this time.
It could be worse. It could be worse, but not by much.
Yeah, it could just barely be worse, folks. That's it.
Yeah.
And in fact, these are the 6 lowest years on December 21st.
Is this a new graphic? I think this is the first time I'm seeing this.
Oh, you didn't see it today? Oh, you ran the whole morning. Oh, no, you can use it at noon.
Cool.
And it's even Christmassy looking. So what it's just shows the lowest snow water equivalents there. That's the inches of water if the snow melts. The 6 lowest years, we're one of the 6 lowest. And we're at about 6 inches of snow water at that elevation. Snowpack melts, or would be 6 inches of rain.
Gotcha.
I have that labeled as 2014. I'm going to check that. That should be 2013, shouldn't it? Because that was the one we just saw on the other chart. Look at this previous chart.
I thought it was 2014.
Oh, no, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. 2014, 15, 14. Nope, everything's right. All right.
Yeah, good job.
So then last night I sat there and I thought, well, what happened the following, the rest of winter? I knew 1 or 2 of these were terrible. I know 2004 was like one of the worst ski seasons ever. What happened? There we go. How much snow followed in January at Government Camp at each of those locations?
Wow,
in 2014,
that's cool.
2 inches fell at Government Camp in January. Absolutely amazing. In 2002, no snow fell in January. 2023, we don't know. We will see. 2019, 102 inches fell. That's double the normal. Normal is 50 or so. In 89, I remember that one. No skiing over Christmas. 106 inches fell in January. It just was huge. And then 2004, 11 inches fell.
Yeah. Okay, so there's hope is what you're saying. There is hope.
There's hope, but look at the years that were terrible in January.
Yeah.
They're all El Niños.
Yeah.
2 of those strong El Niños, I think. So, I don't know. I'm just a little concerned that this is a trend that's going to continue. We will see. There's hope. Yes, there is hope. I'm saying there's a chance, right? I'm saying
but it's
there's
not
a
great chance. Oh, yeah. Our poor skiers and snowboard friends.
Yeah, beautiful Christmas colors on that graphic.
Yeah, that's nice. That's why you got to watch the video.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this podcast.
I don't usually use green arrows and red backgrounds. Red is a color we kind of try to avoid.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, okay, short term, what are we expecting up on Mount Hood? We're going to go 4 to 8 inches, we think, Friday, tomorrow.
Okay.
Nice cold front. I mean, good westerly flow right behind that front. The front hits pretty early in the morning, I noticed.
Yeah.
And then there's a snow. I told my friend who's driving over with no traction devices, I had told him to be over the mountain before noon, but I think he really, to be safe, needs to be like up there at 7 or 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saturday looks great on the mountain. Sunday looks okay, although then it starts to either snow or rain late in the day Sunday. And
then that snow level climbs.
Yeah, and then the snow level's high. Whatever falls Monday and Tuesday should be in the form of rain because it's pretty warm up in the mountains. We don't know exactly how much is going to fall, although I'm leaning towards, I don't know what you saw this morning, Camila, if you got a chance. I know you just got in.
Yeah.
But it looks like it could be a wet day Monday, although we're right on the edge of the rain.
Well, It was interesting because I was looking at the Euro model for snow, And the Euro model wants to give us some accumulation from those systems early next week. So I don't know if it's just keeping us a little colder or what. Did you notice that?
I did notice I didn't look too closely, but I did notice it was slightly different.
Yeah.
You're right. And I've got two images coming up because we will talk about Sunday and Monday in just a second. Big picture here. Can't go wrong. 500 millibar height anomaly graphic. This shows the 5-day average, folks. For the next 15 days, this is off this morning's Euro model. And if you notice at the beginning, in general, where you have the warmer colors, those are higher upper level heights. And then the cooler colors are more troughing than average, cooler than normal, or lower than normal heights, I should say. And at the beginning, you see kind of ridging is over us, but it kind of changes over the next 2 weeks. The ridging becomes more over Canada, and more troughing develops to our south and west. A little more active to our south and west, I guess, is the big picture there, if you just keep watching that. And that, I got to tell you, it's slipping right into the classic El Nino pattern. Right there at the end is that is classic El Nino. Higher than normal heights, drier than normal up to the north in western Canada, probably wetter than normal in California, with multiple weather systems hitting them in the early part of January.
Yeah. Wow. But a lot of this stuff we're thinking is still kind of coming from the southwest, right? So it's like mild.
Right.
Yeah.
Still mild systems. Okay, so we've had to make some adjustments, and maybe we'll adjust more. You'll be making the forecast this afternoon before I get in. Got to go get some vaccination.
Exciting.
Sunday, very exciting. Sunday, I mean, it looks like it's a very weak system, but it looks like the moisture is going to hang together for Christmas Eve day. I mean, it looks like there will be light rain. It's very light. I noticed like a quarter inch or less.
Yeah.
But that does come rushing in over the cool air mass behind Friday's cold front. So since we'll probably still have easterly flow coming out of the gorge, and also that cool air mass left there, the east of the Cascades, I think this will probably be in the form of snow from Cascade Locks eastward in the gorge on Christmas Eve day and afternoon. It may only be a half inch or an inch, because then it's gone. But just be aware of that if you're traveling through the gorge or over the Cascades. Yeah, you see that snow on Christmas Eve day. So that's Sunday. Going over the mountain. It's really weak. But then it seems to set up into this sort of setup where by Monday, Christmas Day, almost a Pineapple Express, there's a lot of moisture heading mainly to our north. I mean, each model's a bit different. Could there be some freezing rain in the gorge briefly also Christmas Eve night into Christmas Day? Maybe. We'll see. The moisture has to show up. So it's kind of a messy pattern, but it's definitely mild. Warm air is surging in on Monday. So I do not think there's any chance for snow here in the metro area.
Yeah. So I guess that's, generally speaking, pretty good news for people traveling around the holidays. There's nothing too crazy on the way except for, Christmas Eve night and then Christmas morning, maybe. Could be maybe a little sloppy for some. Yeah.
Maybe it's a little too warm. There's not a good chance for a good cold pool to set up east of the Cascades since this thing is coming in so quickly behind Friday's system on Sunday. Saturday looks great. Saturday
looks beautiful.
So through the 28th, what do we see? This is a graphic I like to use in the wintertime. The 4 big events we're always worried about. Lowland snow, nope. I still don't have the snow tires on. The Mark Nelson snow tire check.
Yeah.
Arctic blast, no. Boy, I got that pattern that we're seeing long range with the ridging is in Western Canada. We don't get any Arctic air in that setup.
Yeah, super mild.
Yeah. Valley windstorm, no, there's no southerly windstorm in that setup. But a gusty east wind at times in the gorge and metro. Right now, we don't see anything damaging, but it'll be around. And of course, no flooding unless we get rain sitting over one spot for a long time. I'm not seeing anything right now that says heavy rain.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, all these systems coming through are pretty weak and also pretty quick. They just kind of move through and then they're gone.
So I'm thinking, as a meteorologist here in the Northwest, west of the Cascades, our kind of busy winter season, I know it's not winter, but busy season is typically November, December. If we take 4 months, November, December, January, February, we're going to make it through these first 2 months through January 1st, with the only significant weather event will have been that minor flooding and heavy rain in early December, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
I think that's it.
Pretty easy the first 2 months of our winter forecasting. We'll see what happens in January and February. Okay, folks,
boy.
You may be listening to
solstice time.
Yeah, you may be listening to this or watching, and with the winter solstice has already arrived. Astronomical winter begins 7:27 p.m. You know how many hours of daylight you get? 8 hours and 42 minutes.
Count them.
That's all you get. I see there's daylight out there. A lot of us sitting in the fog today. That seems appropriate for the winter solstice. Oops. I thought I had one more graphic.
Although, you know what? It's actually cleared out quite a bit, like central and east side. I'm seeing good pockets of clear sky from our Rivermark camera.
Oh, good. Okay. Because I wondered, that was a tough call today. I kept saying, since we didn't have much wind movement today, I knew there was plenty of moisture. We'd have fog, I thought. And the gorge gradient's down to like 2 millibars easterly flow, which is really weak. I thought, we could just be clouded or fogged in all day. Although our graph model has been hinting there'd be some clearing, especially East Metro. So we'll see. Yeah, it looks like it's not totally. I thought it might be solid, like 2,000 feet thick. Everybody's locked in the I-5 corridor. But
no, that's definitely the case down in Salem for sure. But we're getting maybe just enough coming through the gorge.
Yeah, and I kept saying on air, you know what? If I forecast cloudy all day and foggy and we get some sun breaks, who's going to complain?
Exactly. Right? No one's going to be emailing you about that.
Yeah, it was sunny. I didn't want the sun. All right. I got to take a big deep breath on this one.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm going to take a swig of coffee before we dig into this.
So I don't want to paint a picture like I always get people emailing me about this, but I have questions. Once or twice every year, somebody says, hey, how come the earliest sunrise, oops, no, I already messed it up. How come the earliest sunset doesn't happen on the solstice? You would think if the day is shortest, it should be on today. It should be the latest sunrise and the earliest sunset. Yeah. Because it's the shortest day, right?
Right.
Well, that's not the case. And this happens with the solstice in the summer as well. The earliest sunrise in summer is
the latest sunset. Yeah.
Yeah. They're different. So what is going on? And Camila, how long did we spend on this first, folks, for TV, we have to figure it out ourselves.
Yes.
Okay? Before we try to describe it in layman's terms, we have to get it correct in our heads, or else it doesn't even make sense to you. If I'm just babbling, it's not going to. How can I explain something to you and break it down? So how long did we spend?
Oh gosh. Well, and with astronomy stuff, it's not like we're not talking about this every single day. So like you said, we want to make sure we're getting it right. Mark and I probably each read, I don't know, 3 to 4 to 5 maybe different articles trying to explain exactly why.
Hardcore
pretty dense
stuff.
Ones. Because the tricky thing, of course, with TV is we're also trying to condense this information down into a 30-second to maybe minute
or minute
like that. Yeah, I mean that's tough because this can get pretty involved.
Okay, so since you're all knowledgeable on this, I think you should give this a spin, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I have anything to add.
We'll give it a shot here. Yeah. Well, so basically, I think the easiest way to think about this is we like our clean, even times, right? We like to think of our day as 24 hours. We like to think of noon exactly as when the sun is at the highest point. And it just doesn't quite work out that way. So because of Earth's orbit, stop. Because of the orbit, tilt, spin, that 24-hour day length actually varies a little bit. And so the highest point, when the sun is at the highest point in the sky, which is called solar noon, sometimes doesn't always fall right at noon. And so that's the case end of December. That solar noon time is what, like 12:07, 12:08?
I think so. Oh, we'll have it on the next graphic.
Everything kind of shifts a little bit. So that impacts the sunrise and the sunset times. I don't know what else you want to add to that.
No, I can just add that did surprise me, actually. I guess I kind of knew this from the past, but due to the graphic shows, due to several different factors, its orbit, the tilt, the spin. I was surprised. The actual day length is anywhere from 30 seconds longer than 24 hours to 20 seconds shorter. And it varies throughout the year. And in fact, it doesn't vary evenly throughout the year. I think September is less than April or something like that. It's not even, because remember, the Earth also is orbiting. It's not a perfect circle. Right. So sometimes it's farther away from the sun. It's just a big mess. All right.
Yeah, a lot of algorithms and calculations that we will never get into.
So like you said, the highest sun is 7 minutes later in December than it is early in December. And this is where I think I want to change the graphic. Okay, so can I go to here? No, let's go to here. Yeah, I'm going to redo this graphic. I think it's too complicated too.
I think it works. I think you made it work. Yeah.
Well, we're going to make it work better.
Okay.
So why isn't the winter solstice the latest sunrise and the early sunset? So December 1st, solar noon, just by chance, does happen to match up with, I think it's actually 11:59 a.m. It does more or less match up with the noon that we all, our clock time that we all use every day. Mm-hmm. So December 1st, sunrise is at 7:32, sunset is at 4:28. That's dividing 8 hours and 58 minutes of daylight, half before noon and half after noon.
Yeah,
right?
pretty evenly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that seems reasonable. This is where, okay. No, let's not complicate it, Mark. Do not complicate it. Oops. Then, by December 21st, so 3 weeks later, today, because the length of the solar day is actually a little bit longer right now, by that time now, 3 weeks later now, the solar noon has shifted to 12:08 p.m., so the sun is highest in the sky at 12:08. Mm-hmm. So what that means is the sunrise and sunsets are shifted down in
by
time,
8 minutes, basically. Yeah.
So what was a sunrise at 7:32 is 7:40. Mm-hmm. What was a sunset at 4:28 is 4:36, right?
Yeah.
Is everybody with us? I know you can't respond while you're listening to your podcast.
Baby steps, step by step here.
But wait, we forgot. During this time of the year, we're still losing daylight from December 1st to December 21st. So we've lost 16 minutes of daylight. So both of those come back toward the sunrise and sunset have to come back towards each other 8 minutes because, we've lost 16 minutes, have to divide it half before noon, half after noon. So basically the day has gotten shorter. Mm-hmm. So let me go back one. Yeah. So in the end, the sunrise has gained 15, 16 minutes. So we've gone from 7:32 in the morning to 7:47. But that brings a sunset back closer to noon because the day has gotten shorter. So in the beginning, remember on December 1st, we had a 4:28 p.m. sunset. It's 4:29 p.m. We've actually gained a minute there at sunset. Here's where I think I messed up, Camilla. I think this graphic we should show the big picture of what we have December 1st first.
Yeah.
And then immediately go to this one and say that we've, but the day has gotten shorter and we move the times closer together. And then we show how solar noon has shifted it to the right. Hard to picture, but I think it would make more sense.
Yeah, it could be. But basically, what I do like about this graphic is it shows that we're lopping off most of the daylight from like closer to sunrise than sunset. That does make this clear if you see that kind of timeline shifting. Yeah.
And in reality, it'd probably be helpful if you just said, okay, what happens 3 weeks from now? And you would continue to see the time. We get those 16 minutes back. And so you really see that at the sunset time. 3 weeks from now, it's much later.
What would be really cool is if we did this kind of graphic, almost like a time-lapse style over like months. Ooh. And you can see how these things are kind of changing and getting bigger or smaller, right?
And I also thought of, to make this less complicated, get rid of all the lines on the bottom. And it doesn't need to be as literal as it is, so you see more movement left and right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get rid of the noon, 1, 2, 3, all that stuff. And so then the whole thing just shifts much more dramatically left and right.
Yeah.
Comes back together.
Nice. Okay. We've got
you get on that
the
for the summer
here.
solstice. Okay.
Yeah.
So we hope that all made sense. So basically, don't worry about it. Just look at the time, and that's what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
We don't have we were going to do a term of the week, but we didn't want to go too long this week because, special Christmas episode. We got Christmas preps to take care of, so we're moving on, folks.
Yeah.
Solstice. Oh, by the way, you know what I didn't mention on the solstice? The graphic I have here.
Yeah.
It doesn't have it. It's the solstice for us, the coolest time of winter, coldest part of winter occurs on average about 2 weeks after. So right around January 1st is the coldest time of the year for us. It's a little earlier than back on the east in the eastern USA. It runs a little bit later there. Their coldest time of the year is like the end of January.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we got Christmas pictures, folks.
Oh boy.
You haven't seen this one, have you?
I have not. Is this baby Katie?
It is baby Katie. By the way, Katie could not make it. She had something else. She just couldn't make it for this podcast.
Yeah.
But she said, no, share my picture. That is a cute little kid.
That's adorable.
Going out with her dad, going out and getting a Christmas tree from out in the Truckee. They live in the Truckee area.
Oh, okay.
She may have said her parents were, quote, hippie dippies. I'm not sure if that was her or not. Somebody said that. But they lived in the Truckee area back, I think, in the 80s. And that's them getting... actually, look at this for a wild Christmas tree. That's a pretty solid-looking tree.
Yeah, it is. And Katie's she's in a cute little like puffy snow onesie. It's adorable.
A snow onesie. It's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Oops. Camilla.
Yeah. So
what an angel.
I know. I didn't really understand. I didn't understand the Christmas assignment. I'm going to be honest. I just thought Mark wanted a baby picture. So this is just me in a white dress. Yeah. I don't know where this was taken. I'm going to imagine it was in Argentina in the, maybe it was around Christmas because it's summer there.
Were you born in Argentina? I forget.
No, I was born in the States, but we would go very frequently. Like every break we would get for school, we would always travel there to see family.
For family.
Yeah.
So you can run for president?
Yes.
Because you were born here.
I could get my Argentinian citizenship if I wanted to. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. Cute picture. It does look like a little Christmas angel, though. Is that your mom holding up the
It must be holding up the tail of the dress, yeah.
And being a kind of an outdoors person and whatnot, what I noticed was it looks like that deck was not up to code. You look at how an entire kid could fit through those.
Yeah. What's going on there? It's got like chicken wire or something attached to it. Like, what is going on?
That's to keep little Camilla from falling through and wanting to take a 2-mile run.
Oh, there we go. Oh my gosh. Wait, the bowl cut? Amazing.
Baby Mark, the bowl cut, blonde hair. I guess I had light colored hair. My son was the same way. And then I remember that this was, excuse me, I'm not getting choked up. I just can't breathe. December of 1973. We lived in Tacoma briefly at the time. Look at that. Little Mark's got is that a bow tie?
Is it? Little mini bow tie? And like is that like a vest? I mean, you look very fancy.
I think we always open gifts Christmas Eve after going to a Christmas Eve service. And my dad was not a preacher yet at that time. He became one a few years later. But I think Mom probably made that. She was quite a seamstress. So I'm sure she made that little outfit for me.
That's amazing. And are you holding is this like a dump truck toy?
Yep. I remember it's still a dump truck, a play school dump truck. I got a lot of play school toys. I guess they were popular back then. And I pushed that thing around for years and years and years.
That's great. How appropriate. It just blossomed into a love of power tools and large equipment in your adult years.
Good memories there. So, yeah, good stuff. So, do you have any big plans for Christmas?
We might be heading up to Seattle just to hang out with some friends for the day. Pretty low key. Aren't you working?
No,
not on Christmas.
Oh, Katie's working Christmas.
Katie's working Christmas, yeah.
That's right. And what are you doing? We're hanging around home. We might go see a movie. Maybe.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's a fun tradition. Johnny's family would always do that for Christmas.
Yeah, I thought that was weird that the place was open. And I feel kind of badly making people work on Christmas. Although I've worked lots of Christmases. No big plans. This is, can be a busy weather time of the year. So we never make plans to go to the tropics or anything like that. Because many times, like last year, example A, I need to be around if we have an ice storm, a snow event or flood or something. It's a busy weather time of the year. Usually. Not this year.
Well, I was going to say maybe for the folks that are hoping for a big snowstorm, you do need to go on vacation because that's when they seem to happen.
That's what they say. Yeah, it seems like that happens. I also got to get this camera farther back. My head is enormous.
Your head looks fine.
Yeah, that's Anyway, I got to get that camera moved. I'm going to drill a hole through that thing.
Yeah.
All right. So, hey, have a Merry Christmas.
Yes,
Camila,
Merry Christmas.
Kind of weird that I'm saying this because we will see each other in about 3 hours within the Weather Center. Have a great Christmas, and all the rest of you have a wonderful Christmas or any holiday, whatever holiday you celebrate. We hope it's great, happy holidays and New Year. We're going to take a break next week for Christmas week, right?
Right.
We will not be back here next week. Our next podcast should be right around the 4th or the 5th, and maybe by that time we'll have something more significant to talk about.
Yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Please no Arctic blast or cold. Please no.
Yeah. Just how about a good, healthy dumping of snow in the mountains? Like, hopefully we can talk about that.
3-foot snowstorm. That'd be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. We'll see. Anyway, thanks again for joining us, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Stop. You're waiting and hesitating and tell us, please tell us